Yeah, whether we like it or not, access to resources, and in this case, millions of dollars for Mr. Epstein, does give you a greater ability to defend yourself. And some people would go as far as to say that with money, you have the ability to buy justice or buy the ability to avoid justice. I think a lot of people are pointing out that if potentially Mr. Epstein were a person of color, or if he were female, or if he didn't have access to the kinds of resources and the kinds of friends and associates that he had, that he would have years ago, potentially even decades ago, already have been in prison and not able to continue to prey upon women all around the world. And so it's definitely an issue. And I think the broader issue here is really income inequality. If there's a lot of social issues that Republicans, Democrats, Independents care about in this country, but many of those issues, the friction, the issues are really animated along economic lines. So you talk about health care. The issue is that people can't afford equitable access to health care. Right. Even if you talk about, the justice system, can people afford to actually defend themselves? Can they afford a lawyer? Can they afford representation? And so income inequality is something that we have to address in this nation. If you look at the stats since the global recession happened, so since 2008, 50% of the income that's made in America has been made by the top 10% of people. You look at people of color in particular, African-American net worth for an average household is expected to be $0 by 2053, and for Hispanic households it's expected to be $0 by 2072. So there has to be work that we do from a policy perspective. If you look at the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission potentially changing what the definition of an accredited investor is, so that retail and Main Street investors have an opportunity to invest alongside people like Mr. Epstein, who were able to create wealth very quickly by investing in companies and by managing wealth. Looking at expanding those opportunities is really, I think, the only way that we're going to be able to address some of these broader issues in our country that animate folks on the right side who in middle America and in rural America feel like they've been left behind, and issues that animate people on the left side in urban cities and urban centers who feel like the American dream isn't for them because they don't have the same access. So